Turns out Sabrina Carpenter released Man's Best Friend at the perfect time for me personally, because during this last gasp of summer, I read Problematic Summer Romance by Hazelwood. And I think that album is a perfect soundtrack for this book. Now, I know a lot of people have already talked about it, so I'm just going to give some brief thoughts. Namely, it's not my favorite Hazelwood, I will be honest. I think that the age gap of it all, which was the selling point, and the kind of conversation around this book, much like the conversation around the Sabrina Carpenter album, to be honest, there are parallels. It felt like it overshadowed the actual romance, and it felt like, while I appreciated that we were treating the power dynamic there with sensitivity, that it's all we talked about, to the point where I didn't buy into or believe or root for the couple. And some of this may have also been that there wasn't much action inherent to the book. I really liked the setup of it, in that it did feel like a summer getaway, a summer vacation for someone who can't afford to go or couldn't afford to go away this summer. And I love the ensemble, as always, especially as it's an ensemble we are getting to revisit and already have some attachment to. And I also have some suspicions of potential little seeds being planted for down the line. However, within the context of Maya and Connor's relationship, I don't think that there was a lot of inherent connection or tension there, even within the flashbacks, which I did appreciate from a narrative standpoint. And it was getting me as a reader to believe that they were in fact best friends prior to this kind of rift that developed, and I don't know that I got there. At the same time, I think some of this was pacing. I think that about 50 to 100 pages of this book probably could have been cut, because it felt like we were rehashing the same beats over and over from both Maya and Connor, and it made Maya at times, especially as a singular point of view character, start to feel a little more immature, which was just further feeding in to the narrative at play. Also, how many times can the word problematic actually be used in the book? And I do appreciate her frustrations in the situation, and I'm not always opposed to an age gap, but I need to feel some sort of connection there. And even the age gap itself being the central conflict, it was always kind of hashed out in dialogue rather than action, or seeing it at play beyond like some of those flashbacks with her friend group that she had the falling out with, that weren't really to the point of that full emotional connection yet, where we felt the full stakes of it. So, I don't know. I had a fun time, but this was definitely far from my favorite Hazelwood.